Well, hello. It's Joan Silva, your money dream coach and tidy up gal. I'd love to have any of you join me on these regular Tuesday videos. I have some that go out to my list, so if you're not on my list and you'd like to be, please let me know. You can also get many of my articles that I write about tidying up on joansilva.com or yourmoneydream.com. Today's topic is an exciting one. And, for those of you who don't find paper exciting, I get it. You know, those mounds and mounds of paper. I have it too, only I've gotten better and better at finding ways to let it go, finding ways to purge and realize how much I don't have to keep. So Tidy Up Tuesday today is help. I'm drowning in paper. Do I really need to keep all of that? Nah. You'll be happy to hear as I move on in the video that there's some tips around that. What I'd like to do is share with you an article I wrote, and I have it right here actually, that went in a monthly magazine I write for a magazine, and I don't know if you can read it correctly. I don't know if it goes backwards or not, doesn't look like it, but that was the actual name of the article. It got published in January of 2016, and I've had many people ask me about, geez, what do I need to keep? What do I need to purge? So let me just tell you that my tagline, and thank you to my very dear friend Janice, she came up with this, is helping others discover the joys of tidying up. Now, for years and years, I've been helping people with money, tangible money, money in the bank, how to put more in the bank, how to spend less, how to have things you want without going into debt. Spent a lot of time helping people get out of credit card debt and live debt-free, and by the way, live without credit cards, which is what I do. But today is about paper. And money is paper too, of course. So I do want you to keep paper if it's in the form of money. But I joke. Here we go. So here's the thing. One of my readers on my list, who knows me fairly well, has been really turned on by the videos that I have been sharing, both as a Facebook Live here, as well as on my YouTube station. Last time I talked about books, then I talked about digital books, and this time I'm going to be talking about paper and what do you need to file. I'm drowning in that paper. She said to me, and I love this, I wrote down her quote, "Your videos really hit something deep and profound within me. May you bless your clients and those who watch your videos with the knowledge and tools to make effective changes in their lives from tidying up, especially in their money lives." So here I am talking about paper. So here's the thing. You don't have to keep much. And as I wrote in my article, let me quote it, quote, "You can pretty much deep six most of your documents and go digital with the rest." So here's the thing. You can pretty much toss everything. These days especially. Don't need to keep things like how-to manuals. You can get those online. Warranties. You really don't need to keep those either. Most of them are not valid for a certain period of time anyhow, and quite often it's recorded anyhow once you file the warranty filing. But most of the time we don't end up doing anything with them anyway. We just pile those things up. So here's what I do. Let me share with you. I have my box here. But here's what you can do. You take your pick, what works for you. I'm telling you what works for me and what is really helpful. I learned this in an organizing class years ago, and you have to pick what's right for you. So here's my box. In fact, I'll pick it up. It's a little heavy. It is. See what it says? File. And actually what's in it is some mail that I might not have gone through, some things I haven't necessarily read, and it's getting towards the top of the box. So here's the hint. When it gets close to the top of the box, it's a visual cue. It's a way to say, okay, Joan, time to pay attention to this. I usually pay attention to it sooner just because this kind of stuff agitates me. Some people are very tolerant of piles. Many times you do what I've done in the past, which is hide it, which is really good in a box. If you put it in a closet, you don't have to look at it. That's fine too, because by the way, most of what's in this box I'm going to get rid of. I'm not keeping. Some of it's duplicate. All you have to do is get to the age of Medicare and you have piles of paper. And of course, my husband last year, piles of paper. Well, you multiply that times 2. We don't need it all. We're covered by the same insurers. So here's another tip. Pick a smaller basket. See how more shallow this is? It's empty. That's where I usually put things I haven't read mail-wise, like bills and so forth that I need to handle right away. And then I empty it fairly regularly if I think I need to file it, which these days I've been tossing more and more. I put it in that box called file. So let me just tell you that there are certain things you do need to keep, and most of it you don't. I'm just going to give you one little tip today. And what I'd like is to have you get in touch with me, joansilva.com. Joan@joansilva.com is my email if you'd like to have the article that actually delineates this, lists it better. And I'm going to tell you that when I say you can pretty much deep six anything, I can hear you like need a paper sack because you're hyperventilating. Oh my God, no, I can't get rid of all of that. That stuff's too important. I might throw away my life in that trash can. I will tell you that there are times I've tossed something that maybe I ought not to. I get a little zealous. However, I'm going to tell you that most of what you keep, you aren't going to read. It's just going to sit there. My husband loves his handyman magazine because he's a handyman. And yet the magazines, which I have put in lovely magazine holders on a shelf, I can guarantee after he's really dove into them when they came in, which they are good, they're very interesting, he wouldn't know which magazine to look at after that. So here we are with all these magazines, all in order. And unless he went online and looked up what article they came in, which magazine they came in, he wouldn't really know. And let's face it, most of us go to YouTube or Google it and get the answer. With smartphones and the access that way, we really don't need much paper anymore. Now, I do know many of us, one of my marketing mentors, she's really fabulous. She was saying that she loves paper magazines, and I don't blame her, but they're getting less and less usable, less and less valuable. There's less and less there. And by the way, I don't see anybody on here. I wonder if I marked this private. I know people are on here, but oh well, there's nothing showing up. That's bizarre. Usually I see people as they sign on, and I know some people are signing on. So I apologize if you're asking questions or giving comments. I'm new at this live Facebook. I will figure it out next time. And I'll post this on my page anyway as a recording. But at any rate, if you'd like to get the article that talks about what specifically you want to keep, I see all these hearts and thumbs up and yay, thank you, thank you. I know I'm not talking to dead space. Yay. Please let me know. joansilva.com. You can go right on my my website and hit the contact area, send me an email, or joan@joansilva.com. But here's the thing, your annual tax returns, and that means the top level part of your tax return, is all you really need to keep. And for 3 years is all you need to keep the supporting documents. And what people ask often is, well, why don't I have to keep my whole return with all the supporting documents? The only time you need to do that is if fraud is involved, which of course none of us want to say we did that, because then it's forever. And that means the support for it. But who in the heck wants to support their fraud? And I'm kidding, of course. It is a serious business, but of course that's the only reason you need to keep all that supporting documentation. So top level part of your tax return, that's it, folks. That's all you need to keep. And these days, more and more receipts are online, or when they print, over time they fade. So in truth, you wouldn't have it anyway if you needed it to show it in a few years anyhow. 10 years is as long as the government, the IRS, excuse me, can go back and audit you. Although there are a few exceptions, like I mentioned fraud, but let's just pull that one out of the loop. There's a few exceptions to that. So why don't you let me know if you need any more help? But paper is one of those things that's actually one of the easiest things to tidy up. I know you don't believe me, but it's true. It's the reason why is that you take it all, like I have here in this box. It's all in one place, the stuff that I need to take care of. I don't stack it elsewhere. I locate stuff that might be piled up somewhere else because my hubby likes to open the mail downstairs and I'm upstairs in my office. I like to go get that, and I deal with garbage, go straight to the garbage for stuff that I absolutely don't keep. Magazines I'm not going to read, periodicals, newspaper inserts, advertising, promos, all that mail that you didn't ask for and comes in anyway. I go right straight to the shredder basket, the recycling, and toss it. I don't even go anywhere with it in the house. I don't pile it up because, boy, you start to do that, then it commingles with your bills, it commingles with the things that really are stuff that you want to deal with, that you really do need to pay attention to. It is the reason oftentimes people have so much to clear because they've just piled it and piled it and piled it. And then that got nasty, so they piled it somewhere else or they hid it somewhere else. And before you know it, you've got it. And many people can't even use their offices because their offices are piled with paper. I do have techniques and approaches with that too. If you want some hand holding, I do give that too. Would love to do that for you. We would do it like this, Zoom. I don't come into your home or your office. And of course you could move your camera around for me to see what you're dealing with. But truthfully, we need more of a guidance, a tidy up approach. What do I do with this? If you feel that that's something you'd like to have, I'd love to work with you on that. Otherwise, join me on Tuesdays for Tidy Up Tuesdays, or sign up for my newsletter that comes out every Monday for regular improving and tidying up your money, and Tuesdays for Tidy Up Tuesdays. Thank you for joining me. And I'm sorry if I missed out on your comments. I will take a look at when this posts live and see if anybody did make any comments, and I'll respond there. Thank you for joining me. I'm Joan Silva at joansilva.com for Tidy Up Tuesdays. Help I'm drowning in paper, and do I really need to keep that?